Like, I was like, okay, so like, why are you making it so dramatic? Like, what's the, like, what else? He was like, she pregnant. Bitch, what? Bitch. Hey, what's up YouTube? It's King Key and I'm back with another video. So today's video is going to be a story time about the time my boyfriend cheated on me and got another girl pregnant. Yay! So we just gonna get right into the video. Alright, so basically I made some notes on my phone because I already tried to film this video once and I just felt like I was all over the place because like it's just so much and it happened so long ago. It's just like a lot to remember, so I went ahead and wrote some notes down on my phone. So we're gonna get right into it. Alright, so we're gonna call my ex-boyfriend Jalen. Now, I called Jalen my first boyfriend, but he wasn't the first boyfriend I had, but he was like my first real serious boyfriend. So his name was Jalen, and I met Jalen at school. I believe I met him at school. He might have hit me up on social media first. It was so long ago, I don't remember, but I remember it was the end of my 10th grade year when we met. But he was a grade older than me. Well, he was a year older than me, so he was in the 11th grade when I was in the 10th grade. So basically we met at the end of his 11th grade year, the end of my 10th grade year. And he just seemed so sweet. He was like not typically my type or like the type of guy I would go for, but like I had just been having so much like bad luck with guys. Like I was just like, you know what, maybe it's me, maybe it's my type, maybe I need to switch it up. So I'm thinking like switch it up, you know, you're gonna have you a nigga that's really gonna do right. He was still a fuck nigga. Like, that's another story. Alright. So, anyways, when Jalen and I first met, he told me, he was honest, he told me that he had a girlfriend at the time or whatever. But like we kind of was just talking as friends and getting to know each other. But he also told me that he didn't want to be with his girlfriend anymore. He told me that their relationship was becoming toxic and they would argue all the time, and like if he tried to break up with her, like she would go crazy. So that's kind of why they were still together. But he told me that she was over it and he didn't want to be with her anymore. And I'm just eating it all up like, oh, he don't want to be with her no more, he wants to be with me, and just like so in lust or whatever. But anyways, so it was the end of the school year, and so through the summer we kept talking, and eventually that summer he ended up cutting things off with his ex-girlfriend. We gonna just give her a name and we gonna call her Cynthia. So he ended up cutting things off with Cynthia, and he ended up just like committing himself fully to me. So we got together. I wish I could remember our date. Like I just really wish I could, but I honestly don't. But I know it had to been in the summer. I don't know. But anyway, we got together or whatever that summer. And like that summer we spent every freaking second together. Oh, and not to mention like we both didn't have cars, but my grandma who I lived with and his grandma who he lived with lived like a block away from each other. So it was perfect. Like we could just always see each other. And of course like my mama didn't want me like, you know, to his house like that, but I just used to sneak to his house like, sorry mom. But I literally used to sneak to his house like just about every night. And we used to like spend every waking second with each other, and just like we was like inseparable. We was just like so in love and so happy together and whatever. So then the summer passed and school started back up, and we were still spending every waking second together. But you guys can pretty much guess like what happened then, because like if you spend that much time with a person, you gonna start noticing like the things that they do that you don't really like. You gonna start finding things that you don't really like about them because you just spend so much freaking time with them. And so since we were spending so much time together, it was just kind of getting like toxic. Like we didn't get nothing else but each other. Like we didn't have no kind of social life. And I don't think he really cared to have a social life, but I wanted to have a social life. He just didn't want me to. And me being the young and dumb person that I am, I'm just like, okay. Like at school, even my friends started realizing that they'd be like, you never hang with us no more, like you never do nothing with us no more. And it's because like I would literally always be with him. And like one day I remember telling him that I wanted to hang with my friends, and he got so mad at me because I wanted to hang with my friends. And he was like, you can hang with your friends anytime, you need to spend time with me. But really, I can hang with you anytime because we live right by each other. I cannot hang with my friends anytime because I don't have no car. Like the only time I won't see my friends is when I come to school, because I ain't got no car to bring myself to their house. Like, no, I can't hang with my friends anytime. But he wasn't trying to hear that. So yeah, but pretty much he got his way, and like I kind of just like stopped hanging with my friends altogether. Like we would barely ever see each other unless we were in class, because since he was in the 11th grade and I was in the, well, at this point he was in the 12th grade and I was in the 11th, we didn't have no classes together. So in class I could spend time with my friends. Basically that was my only free time from him, which should have been red flag number 2. Red flag number 1 was the fact that he was still with Cynthia when he started talking to me. But anyways, which brings me to one of my classes I had with a teacher. She like used to get on everybody's nerves, but I actually liked her. Like she just seemed like she was just like full of wisdom. I don't know. But one day we were in class, and I don't know why she said this, but she was like, remember how you get them is how you gonna lose them. I wish I could do her voice because it was just like so dramatic in her voice, but she was just like, how you get them is how you gonna lose them. And that just kind of stuck with me, and it would just always like replay in my head, how you get them is how you gonna lose them, how you get them is how you gonna lose them. And remember, I started talking to Jalen when him and Cynthia were still together, so of course that's in my head, like how I get them is how I'm gonna lose them. So because I started talking to Jalen while him and Cynthia were still together, and Cynthia knew about that because Jalen and I got together right after her and Jalen broke up. She was like salty towards me or whatever, and like we got in a fight, which I'll tell a story time about, like a separate story time. But yes, we end up actually getting in a fight. That happened because like she just kept messing with me, like kept doing stuff to me, and I didn't feel like I was fighting over a dude, because people like, you stupid, you fighting over a dude. But really, like, she was disrespecting me regardless of the fact that we both used to talk, or that she used to talk to this dude and I was talking to him. She might have been fighting over the dude, but I ain't had no reason to fight over him because I had him. I was fighting because like she just didn't want to leave me alone. So I'm like, this girl not gonna leave me alone till I whoop her ass. So that's what I did, and she left me alone, needless to say. But anyways, alright, so let's get back on topic. So like I was saying, we were spending every waking second with each other, and he was just becoming so toxic. He was possessive. He didn't want me to spend no time with my friends. He was aggressive. We were fussing like every single day, but then we'll make up like the same day. We literally had no time to like woosah. Like we would just fuss and then make up and be right back with each other. And like at one point, like I think I told my mama about it and the drama and stuff, and she like banned me from going to this house. She was like, you can't go to this house no more, you can't go over there, da da da. And she was like, maybe you could go in the daytime but not at night for sure. So of course I didn't listen, and I was still sneaking to his house. And I think at one point she didn't want me to go to his house in the daytime either, and I would just sneak to his house in the daytime. But anyways, so we gonna fast forward because like this is so hard to remember. I'm trying to remember everything, but y'all, it's hard. Like this is so long ago and my memory bad. But we gonna fast forward to about the middle of the year. So middle of my 11th grade year, middle of his 12th grade year, or maybe really we would consider that more the end, because it was Easter. So come around Easter time, like a couple days before Easter, he had started acting so weird with me, and I was just like trying to figure out like what was going on. And usually like when guys start acting weird like that, or when like a person you're in a relationship start acting weird like that, you know something changing. Like either they talking to somebody else or they just don't want to talk to you no more. So I'm getting those vibes. So I'm like, like what's going on? Really in my head at this point, I was kind of getting over him anyway. So I was just like, if he don't want to talk to me no more, it's going to be like my freedom. I finally get to hang with my friends and just like be a normal 11th grade girl. But anyways, he was like, I need to tell you something, but I can't tell you on the phone, so I need you to come to my house whenever you get done whatever you're doing. So it was Easter, so we were spending Easter with my mom, friends, family, and it was like a little ways out of town, not much, maybe like 15 to 30 minutes out of town. So I was like, okay, whenever we leave, I'm gonna try to come. But of course, I told y'all my mama didn't want me to go over there no more, so it was hard, like trying to sneak, because on a holiday, of course, my mama gonna like try to like be with me. So I'm like, ugh, now I gotta try to sneak over here. So boom, I try to sneak to his house, and I go there. So I'm like so freaking nervous because he was already becoming distant, y'all. So I'm like nervous to find out what he wanted to tell me. So I get to his house, and I'm like, so what you need to tell me? And he was just like being quiet and weird. So I already knew something was up. So I was like, what? Just tell me, just tell me, just tell me. Like, just tell me. Like, I was just like, just tell me. So he was like, okay, so, you know, like, I remember one day my mom's friend had said that I shouldn't trust him because his ex would always be at a house that was like a couple doors down from his, because one of her best friends lived a couple doors down from his house. So he's like, you shouldn't trust him because anytime he get bored or like he had one of those nights, he could just go back to her, like she'd be right there and is available. So like I wouldn't trust him. Basically he was telling me that, and I told him that because he knew that my mom's friend didn't like him, and he got upset about it. He was like, I wouldn't do that to you, I don't want to be with that girl, and blase whatever. So he was like, you remember when your mom friend said what I just told y'all? So I'm like, what? Like, what did you do? He was like, he told me he slept with her. And I was like, what? Like, that's when I just started breaking down crying. And y'all, the hurt was more humiliation than anything else, because like I told y'all, me and this girl got in a fight. So now it just kind of felt like she rubbed it in my face like, nah bitch, you ain't got him, I still got that nigga. So it just kind of hurt me in that way. Like, that shit embarrassing as fuck. Like, what? So I was just like, what, you had sex with her or whatever? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, what? And he basically was like, she was drunk and she had hit him up and he was bored and I was sleeping, and so he just let her come. So I was like, damn, every time I'm sleeping you just gonna let girls come over the fuck? And he was just like, I was like, okay, so like, why are you making it so dramatic? Like, what's the, like, what else? He was like, she pregnant. Bitch, what? Bitch, what? That bitch, what? You're lying. Like, what? You serious? She what? She who? Who? How? For who? So I'm just like, who's she pregnant for? Like, oh, who's she pregnant for? Who's she pregnant for? Can't be you. Cannot be you. Y'all, this boy said she pregnant for me. If I ain't fucking go ballistic, I ain't do nothing. I went crazy in that house. And this is his grandma's house, so his grandma in there. And I could hear his grandma like, hey, what y'all doing in there? I just started going crazy. And I was like, fuck that shit. I'm leaving. Don't talk to me no more. I'm trying to leave. He holding me back. No. Please don't leave. He didn't want to let my arms go. I'm like, let me go. He did not want to let me leave. He refused to let me leave. I'm like, let me go. So he didn't want to let me go. He wanted me to stay, so I stayed and talked a little bit, but I was barely talking. Like, he could catch my vibe. Like, I was just so fucking mad that I didn't have nothing to say to that nigga. Like, what? You really cheated on me, had sex with this girl, did not use protection, then got her pregnant? What? The fuck? So, and then what kills me is literally every time we would have sex, we use protection. But you gonna go sleep with this girl that you not with, that you claim you don't want, and don't even think to use protection? Like, what? That's even worse. Cause now, like, you probably came back after you slept with her and slept with me. Like, so you risking giving me stuff. Like, that's even worse. Like, don't even do that. Don't. But anyways, I had Finally was able to leave because I was just one word to him, and he was like, well, I'm gonna give you some time to think. He was just trying to be all nice to me and stuff, even though I told y'all, like, we used to always argue at that point in our relationship. So he was getting real nasty to me, and I would just kind of put up with it. But since I was like really on the verge of leaving him, he knew I was gonna leave him for that. So he was trying to be like so freaking nice to me, telling me I'm gonna give you some time to think about it. He would have never did that shit, but he was like, I'm gonna give you some time to think about it. So I went home and I didn't talk to him, and I was just like so fucking hurt. I was in my room crying and stuff, and I remember my mama coming in there and she was asking me what I was crying for, and like I didn't want to tell her because that shit was embarrassing. Like I just didn't want to tell her, but I ended up telling her because I'm like, fuck, she gonna find out like eventually. So I just told her or whatever. And she was kind of comforting me, and she was like, I hope you don't plan on still talking to him. Like, you need to let him go and da-da-da-da. But, like, telling that to a girl in 11th grade who, like, with her first boyfriend, she thinks she's so in love with and she's going to be with forever. It's like talking to a brick wall. So, needless to say, we did not break up. I did stop talking to him a little bit, but he was trying super hard to get me to talk to him. So we didn't break up, and we stayed together. But I did become a little distant for a little while, but we stayed together. And then, so Cynthia actually went to the same school as us. Yay! Even better, right? So, of course, Cynthia started showing and stuff, and Cynthia got her ultrasound and brought it to school and told everybody who she was pregnant for. And everybody was like, well, don't Jalen talk to Kiara? Because, of course, everybody knew me and Jalen was together because we would be together every week and second of the day. And Cynthia was like, he do? But that's my baby daddy. So, like, it was a whole big shit. And what really pissed me off is, like, she was, like, so happy to say that she was pregnant for a nigga that was with another girl. Like, why are you bragging on that? And like, even though me and him got together not got together, but started texting and stuff while y'all were still together, I would have never slept with him if I knew he had a girlfriend. Like, I would have never did that to you, sis. But she was just so butthurt trying to get a man back that didn't want her, still don't have him back, even with the baby, that she just couldn't let it go. But like, that was a crazy story. Me and him did stay together for a little while longer, but eventually, whenever the girl had the baby, I couldn't do it no more. Like, having to see him with the baby, having to deal with him seeing her going over there, his family talking about it, I just couldn't do it. So, like, for my sanity, I left that alone and I moved on. So, yeah, there's about 15,000 other story times surrounding this same dude and this same girl and her group of hood rat friends. So, there will be a series that I'm going to be posting about this whole little drama. But, yeah, if you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And, actually, in the comments, let me know if anything like this has happened to you. I know this is rare, like this probably never happened to you, but how, like, if your boyfriend ever cheated on you, like, tell me what happened. Let's talk, let's chat. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I hope you like, and I'll definitely see you in the next one.